Do you know what I am so tired of hearing lately? People that are attacking hairstylists for overcharging, that we're not worth what we're asking, that we need to get real about our pricing because apparently we've forgotten our place. But what I'm really sick of is seeing hairstylists explaining why we charge what we charge. I see stylists online defending themselves all the time, breaking down their pricing, showing their overhead costs, their color receipts, their expenses, their taxes, even listing how much their rent and their tools cost just to convince people that we're not ripping anyone off. And we have got to stop doing this. Why do we feel the need to defend ourselves? You only defend what you're not confident about. And it's past time that we stop degrading ourselves, because here's the truth. We've started over-explaining ourselves to people who were never going to understand it in the first place. Hi, I'm Cheri. I'm a real-world behind-the-chair hairstylist with almost 40 years of experience. I'm a salon owner and the creator of the Defined Stylist Method. I have grown clienteles in vastly different markets to 6 figures, and I want to help you be successful no matter what market you're in or where you live. It bothers me every time I see it. Do you see any other profession defending yourselves like you see the hairdresser community? I've actually seen people say, you're not a doctor or a lawyer, and you shouldn't be charging as much. And honestly, that's wild, because somehow our profession keeps getting talked about like we're the problem, as if we're getting away with something by asking to be paid fairly for our skill, our time, and our energy. But what's even more concerning to me is how we've started reacting to that. So many of us are such people pleasers that we think we owe everyone an explanation. I have a story that just happened. The other day, I had a woman come into the salon asking for a haircut. First, I said we wouldn't be able to get her in for 5 days. Then right away, she asked if we gave senior discounts without even asking what we charge. So she walked out pissed off because the answer was no to the discount. And then she also said she could not believe that she would have to wait that long. That same week, I had a girl hang up on me after telling her our starting prices for color. Now, we're not even going to talk about how absolutely rude these 2 people were. You know, we deal with that kind of thing all the time. What I want to tell you is what I did after I dealt with these rude ass people. Nothing. I did not chase the lady down on the sidewalk who had stormed out and explain to her why we charge what we charge or why we are not available. By the way, 5 days is a pretty short wait in my opinion. I did not call the girl back that hung up on me and explain why we charge what we do. I did not go on Instagram and explain my pricing, my hours, my scheduling. Do you know why? Because I know that these people are not my people. I let it go, and I didn't even think about it again until I started filming this video, because I am confident that I am running my business from an aligned and value-based place. And these people had already shown me that they did not value me or my staff, our experience, our level of expertise, our commitment to our craft, and our commitment to the people who do see our value. But so many of us take this personally, and we feel the need to defend ourselves. Now, there were a lot of years that I would have felt so bad over these interactions. That would have been me. I would have taken it to heart. That would have made me feel like I was doing something wrong and made me doubt my whole business. But let's be honest. The work that we do is one of the most emotionally and creatively demanding industries out there. We spend hours on our feet, physically giving, mentally solving, emotionally supporting. We create confidence. We hold space, we listen, we guide, and we transform. We're not just doing hair. We're helping people reconnect with themselves. And that kind of impact, you cannot price it by the ounce or the hour. So when people say, you're not a doctor or a lawyer, I want to say, you're right. We're not. But what we do changes lives. It restores self-worth. It helps people feel seen again. And somewhere along the line, I feel that we forget that our work matters. We started believing that because our tools are different, our value must be less. And that's why so many stylists are burned out and resentful, because we've been trying to prove our worth instead of standing in it. Here's what I want you to remember. Your worth is not found by proving. It's found by aligning. Without alignment to who you are and what you bring to the table, you're always going to feel the need to defend yourself. And you don't have to defend your worth to anyone. You don't need to post your receipts online. And you definitely don't need to shrink yourself to make someone else comfortable with what they don't understand. So instead of over-explaining, start owning. Start standing in your professionalism, because the truth is, you're not getting away with anything. You're finally charging like someone who knows what their craft is worth. And that's not arrogance. That's alignment. Your business practices, from pricing to the hours you work, should be based on what success means to you. It should reflect your experience, your skill, your education, and the energy that it takes to show up the way you do for every single client. And if someone doesn't see the value in that, that's okay. They're just not your person. When we stop explaining and we start leading, we shift the entire perception of what it means to be a hairstylist. We move from being just service providers to being respected professionals. And the beauty industry needs more of that energy. If this message hits home for you, if you've ever questioned your worth or felt guilty for what you charge, watch this video. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any more strategies and stories about the real life side of being a hairstylist, the ones that no one really talks about. Because when you know your value, you stop explaining it and you start embodying it. And that's exactly what I help hairstylists work through at the Defined Stylist Method. It's not just about business strategy. It's about building a solid foundation of who you are. One, so that you can price confidently, live authentically, and lead your career from alignment instead of fear. If you're ready to stop defending yourself and start defining yourself, come join me inside the Defined Stylist. Let's redefine what it means to be a hairdresser together, because it is your life and it is your career, and you can define it your way. I'll see you in the next video.